Hello, this is Harry Reisner, and this evening I'd like to talk about the full moon effect. Now, in the wake of a recent video entitled Science, somehow the conversation is, I think, because that video mentioned astrology, it has sort of come out in the commenting and debate about it, a discussion of whether or not the full moon has an effect on humans. And I'm referring to a little bit of a commentary going back and forth between myself and Gary the Grunt. And in that, I'm told that I'm dogmatic and that I actually don't use the scientific method because I don't go out and talk to those who are really on the front lines of things, the cops and school teachers. And I responded, and you can see it in the comments, that, well, why would I talk to cops? Why wouldn't I instead refer to studies that have been done on crime stats and that sort of thing, and the attempts to correlate them with full moons and that sort of thing. I mean, in what way are cops experts on statistical analysis? Because after all, it's not about human behavior, it's about scientific study. Anyway, it's gone back and forth a little bit, and but I thought maybe what I would do is I would actually go and do a bit more research. I mean, in the past I have, but it has been a little while with regards to this topic of full moon stuff and its effect on humans. So I thought I would. Now, there are any number of websites I could refer to, but I googled full moon effect, and I'm going to just point out and discuss two of those websites that I came across. One that is sort of anti-full moon effect, shall we say, and the other one that is sort of pro-full moon effect. And let's have a look and see what people on both sides of it are saying. And let's see, just maybe we could come to some conclusions, okay? Now, the first website that comes up when you Google full moon effect, at least when I Google it, is this, from skeptic.com. And let's have a look. The full moon has been linked to crime, suicide, mental illness, disasters, accidents, birth rates, fertility, and werewolves, among other things. Some people even buy and sell stocks according to phases of the moon. And we'll skip down a little bit. Of course, there have been single studies here and there that have found correlations between various phases of the moon and this or that phenomenon. But nothing significant has been replicated sufficiently to warrant claiming a probable causal relationship. Now, I have posted a link to that website as well as to the other website that I'll be discussing, but this site goes on to discuss the work of Ivan Kelly, among others. He's a professor at the University of Saskatchewan who has looked at this and done statistical studies and has found no correlation. And he's just one of many. Again, Google it, scroll through, check them out. And the thing is, he points to real evidence, actual studies published in journals where there's a stringent control over things. He's forced to justify his methodology and justify his conclusions, and it's there for you to read. There are no correlations, plain and simple. And I don't know, Mr. Grunt, how you would put that somehow beneath the opinions of a cop slurping up coffee and downing donuts in Tim Hortons. I don't know how you would. I mean, think about it and do some research. I'm sorry, if I appear to be mocking, it's because I'm really quite amazed. But let's move on to the other website that I select amongst the top 12 that come up when I Google full moon effect. Well, this site comes up as well. It's from the Spiritual Research Center of some sort, called Effect of the Moon on Man. Over and over in the article, they refer to the intangible effect of the moon. And let's look at the definition of intangible. It has a number of definitions, but really it means, in this context, imperceptible, not detectable. It's not detectable. But these people here would like to list a whole bunch of effects that the moon has on humans. Apparently, even though they're intangible and not detectable, they're so obvious for anyone who would like to see. Now, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to read the whole article to you, but I did print it out, and looking at the table of contents, number 6, why are recent reports unable to find evidence of the effect of the moon on human behavior? Well, here's your explanation. Some earlier medical psychological studies had documented the effect of the moon on human behavior, but studies conducted in the recent years have failed to correlate this effect. The reason for this is that in the last decade there has been unprecedented increase in the overall Rajatama in the world. This excess in Rajatama has been primarily orchestrated by ghosts, demons, devils, negative energies, etc. To a certain extent, I rest my case, but there's one other thought, and that is that my keyboard is exerting, right now as we speak, a gravitational effect and force on my body that is in the order of about 10 million times as strong as that of the moon. It's a very simple calculation, and you should check it out. It's back in your court, I suppose. And to expand it to the topic of astrology, it is far more rational and far more relevant to discuss the weight of the attending nurse during the birth, at least if you want to be talking about gravitational forces. The mosquito that just flew by exerted a greater gravitational force on my body than does the moon. Give me a break, man.